What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 100% Chelsea, where Chelsea have just lost 2-0 to Everton. That's our game in hand gone. It was another uninspiring, dead performance. First half was alright, Ross Barkley's name was on the spotlight. It was his first return back to Goodison Park as a Chelsea player. And I'm not going to lie, he had a better performance than he usually does. He had a lot more drive. He looked like he had something he needed to prove, but he still had no end product, and that was my problem today. I feel like the back four was just filled with mistakes today. Azpilicueta, uninspiring. Marcos Alonso, awful. I don't know why he started after having 90 minutes on Thursday. No clue why he started, and let's be honest, when he played, he was poor. He was really bad today. I mean, I've been on my way back, I've been looking at Twitter compilations. It's just highlighting the dreadful performance that he had today. Luiz and Rudiger, I thought was the better of the two, but I still thought was a little bit rash today. David Luiz didn't offer anything going forward. We didn't see any of those long balls that we're used to seeing from him. I thought Jorginho was a bit more of a highlight in a good way. I thought in the first half he was a lot stronger in his tackles, and it allowed him to be more successful in those tackles. Mainly he was having a better performance. Second half he was a lot more quieter, but that was the case of the whole team, to be honest. Kante yet again was the one saving us. In the second half he was the only one driving the ball forward. Hazard had a pretty good first half. He was creating a lot of chances. He was creating a lot of chances. But in the second half, he just completely disappeared, and there was nothing coming from him. Pedro really pissed me off today. Because he had the ball in so many good positions, and he just kept making the wrong decision. The thing about Pedro is, nowadays, because he's aging, he's just becoming a lot more predictable. When he gets the ball, he's going to do the same thing. He's going to drive at the fullback, and he's going to cut inside. There were so many instances where he could have laid in a pass for someone else, or he could have gone for the shot, but he just keeps running with his head down, and he's not noticing any of these opportunities. And that's what's costing us. We were creating a lot of chances in that first half. That first half was really good. But it's the same issue that we have had this season and last season, and it's that we don't take our chances. We never take our chances, and it always comes back to hurt us like it did in the second half. Marco Silva saw our weaknesses. He set out Everton's play differently, and they got a goal from a set piece, which has been yet another problem that we've had this season. How many goals have we conceded from crosses and from set pieces? We're so poor at them, and even when it comes to attacking, we can't even beat the first man on corners, and when we do, we're barely any threat. I could probably name on one hand the amount of times we've scored from corners this season, hell, maybe even last. Set pieces has been a huge problem for us, but there's been a lot of the same problems where it all goes down to the same circle. Sarri can only do what he can do with this squad. I think when it comes to the lineup, he was getting a lot of criticisms for starting Pedro, Barkley and Alonso. Pedro I can understand because he was the fitter one out of the three right wingers, because the other two played on Thursday. Ross Barkley I don't even think played on Thursday, so he was obviously going to be the fitter one and the better choice. And also because he'd have a point to prove against his former club. Alonso's the only one I don't understand, because he played the full 90 on Thursday, and let's be real, Emerson's the better left back. And I don't even know why he's not even in the starting 11 or even on the bench. If there's an injury, then fair play, but I don't know. And I'm not going to try and talk like I know, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But it was just another frustrating performance, because we had a chance to come into fifth. We'd be joint fourth. Arsenal would only be fourth on goal difference. We'd have a chance to put a lot of pressure on those two clubs, as much as I hate to say the word pressure. That's what it is. But we didn't do it. Now, top four isn't gone, because we're still a point behind United, and I think 3 points behind Arsenal. We're still in the mix, but we need to start taking these points as they come, because a lot of tougher games are coming out. April is looking really hard for us. We've still got to go to Liverpool away. Still got to do United away. West Ham at home. West Ham are going to be up for it. They're always up for it when they come to Stamford Bridge. It's going to be a really tough run into the end of the season, as well as Europa League football on top. We need to rotate well. We need to back the manager, because the Sarriball Chants was stupid. I don't know what you guys want. I don't know what more you guys want him to do. The guy started rotating. He starts trying to switch to a 4-2-3-1. The guy's given Hudson-Odoi more game time. What are you guys bitching about now? it doesn't make sense to just blame the manager. It's the easiest response you could do. Think about it. Look at the board who have not given us the right players that we've needed. Transfer window after transfer window of average players being bought for 40, 50 million. How many seasons of that has all built up to us having a dead bench and barely any decent starting 11 players? We've got barely any players who would really play for any other top 6 clubs. Hazard's isolated. He's isolated every game because he has no one of real quality next to him. Higuain's isolated because there's barely any service to him because the midfield aren't doing anything. It's the same problems that we see game after game after game, and everyone's going to blame the manager when in reality it's because the players don't fit the system, because these players aren't good enough. All we can really hope for is that we get this transfer ban appealed so we get the summer transfer window, because if we lose Eden Hazard and we can't replace him, we are in a really bad spot for last season, for next season, if I can say in a nice way. But yeah, this is my review for Everton 2, Chelsea 0. Issues with my fan cam meant I had to do a review, so don't forget to like and subscribe to 100% Chelsea. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Carefree Lewis G. Vlog will be out in a couple of hours. I'm gonna go get this food and forget this happened.